It's the 4th of July in the United States, and what else would be a great way to celebrate our independence? In this case, creating a stereotypical American SUV to be like the majority of people who drive them. Because we're showing off how we whooped that trick on the British Empire nearly 250 years ago. Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, and let's get on with our build. So with the panel material, we must support our American workers and factories this and that by choosing a treated steel panel material with a monocoque chassis made out of AHS steel for the chassis material. Good old front longitudinal for the engine placement, and for the front suspension, I guess double wishbone front, and the rear a multi-link, kind of like Dodge and Ram and everybody else in general. For the engine, of course, if you're an American, V8 it is. I guess cast iron, push rods, aluminum, and jack this bad boy up, make it too big, but not that big. Let's rock with a 7-liter engine of 102mm for the bore, 107 for the stroke to get to 6995 cc's. For the internals, of course, America first. Forged steel, forged again, and forged again. This might not work with the heavy pistons. For the compression and everything, I'll probably go over this maybe a little bit later. So let's start off at 6,500 RPM. It's probably going to be like maybe 6,000 or 5,000 this engine would actually hold and everything. It'll be naturally aspirated for the fuel system. I guess for the sake of 2011, a direct injection single throttle configuration with standard mid for now and super. God damn, this ain't a freaking Lamborghini or nothing like that. And Z headers, I guess, tubular mid headers, dual exhaust. Do 3 inches for now. Let's be a badass none, because I knew the engine won't work. I will say straight pipe everything so our neighbors can hear that we support capitalism and not the other things. So as I thought, the conrods rods and crankshaft had died, so what if I lighten up the pistons? Not too bad, but look at that valve float. That's what happens when you choose a frickin' push rod rather than dual overhead cams, not directing AM in general, because, well, doing that, no valve flow, but we're an American, we're ignorant to learn new things. Oh, kids, so going from a standard bid to a variable, now we're really doing some numbers, so we have to jack up the freaking intake manifold. Let's just... Not too bad. Alright, so might as well for the engine call this final, so we do get a horsepower rating right here at 538 horsepower at 6,400 RPM, and a torque rating of 485.7 pounds-feet of torque at 4,800 RPM. So with this 7-liter naturally aspirated engine, we're pretty much doing numbers well better than the frickin' 6.4 Hemi to 392. And somewhat of a middle child between a 6.2-liter Hellcat supercharged engine, even though that makes damn near 700 horsepower, but we're kind of halfway between that engine's power rating and the 6.4 naturally aspirated 392 Hemi engine's power rating. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's spam the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, by doing a quick poll test to see what freedom sounds like right here. Not too bad, but let's make it badass. Edit the car trim sounds. Yes. Why not? One more run. Yeah, definitely. Yep. Kids, this is what freedom sounds like, kids. For the hell of it. Let's just work with this before I export this car to BeamNG. Next off with the drivetrain of the actual vehicle build, let's just do a 4x4 setup with an advanced automatic 8-speed. We can be like GM and probably bump the sandbox tech pull and make it a 10-speed, but I guess 8-speed would probably do for now. For the tires, I guess let's do some radial, chunky off-road tires because we want to hear ourselves on the road. I think 265s for the front and back, and tires seem good. Don't need to change anything with the rim size, nothing like that. For the brakes, since it's going to be a big boy and a bad boy, let's do Vinadisc 4-piston, 360s up front, solid disc, 3-piston, 300s in the back. For the under tray, Let's do off-road skid tray, brake airflow 25. For the interior of the vehicle, I could put a third row seating. Why not? Have the whole frickin' family involved. Cousins, nieces, nephews, everything. Third row seating for the middle as well as the back, making it an 8-seater. But premium interior and, infotainment system. Well, do premium infotainment system, whatever. For the steering, I guess electric variable power steering with electronic stability control because, well, the government tells us to because it's 2011. Wasn't electronic stability control mandated like in 2012 or 14 or something like that? But whatever. I guess advanced safety systems for the safety requirements, and for the suspension, let's be a little bit unique. Let's do an air type of spring suspension with adaptive dampers and off-road sway bars. Let's do an off-road preset for the memes. And right away, the steering graph, been on the good sporty side, and in the middle for the drivability side. Despite the poor cornering G's of 0.56 G's of steering force. But hey, the max load capacity about almost 3 tons. That's not that bad. And 0 to 60, 8.4 seconds, and I believe, let's see, short gearing. Damn, this could do 200 miles an hour. 183. So for the actual vehicle build, I might as well just complete the vehicle build for this big-ass Americanized SUV. And before doing a little time-lapse to be designing a car, let's first paint apply the livery that you've seen in the thumbnail. So we go to all body panels in the paint section, click on this, and click on New Paint, and scroll over to the left-hand side of the screen and scroll down to where it says Custom Image. Right now, this is a badass Vanta black color with this livery. You click on Advanced Paint Mode, this little paint bucket in the bottom right, and scroll on over until you see base color and normal. I believe base color would be good enough, but we're going to do both of them, both base color and normal. I'm going to click Select an Image. I already got this, and pick the America Flipped Export Ready flag, which is this guy right here. In its pure 50 stripes and 50 stars and 13 stripes glory. This is how you apply either a livery on a vehicle or a badge, but what's unfortunate with the use of the custom image thing on here, if I were to use like this random badge here or the testing thing here, while it is transparent, the masking will show in BeamNG.drive, which means that the transparency won't work. As we can see in the bottom, they won't export properly. So pretty much custom images, this thing here is good for like creating like custom liveries like this for like a race car or this build or whatever you want to do. So now we got the livery, let's do the time lapse of me designing this America F Yeah SUV, which will commence right now. So for the design of this car, the first thing I did after messing with the body molding was bump up the tire width drastically to a 365 up front and 385 in the back. For the front, I worked on the headlights, which are based on the Chevy Suburban, which is going to be the inspiration for the front and back designs of the car. First, I cut out the body using negative tape to make up the shapes of the headlights. I plastered on the turn signals on the corners as well as on the bottom. It includes a basic daytime running light and a pair of elliptical headlight bulbs. Also for the headlights, I decided to use a headlight glass texture as I did to some of my rental cars in the Automation Campaign series. After creating the headlight housing, I added a secondary grille paired with LED fog lights and a front license plate. Heading towards the back, I mimicked a handful of design cues from the Suburban, such as its rear wiper blade with this blade holder thingy, the taillight housing placement and lights used, and the license plate molding. I also included a tow hitch and receiver in case you want to tow things, and a roof rack to carry things. Now for the memes. I started off by adding this harrowing American flag pole that's planted on the roof of the car. Next, I added a pair of vertical exhaust pipes similar to the ones you see on a semi-truck. They're complete with a heat shield so you don't get burned by the sheer amount of freedom that comes out of it. Finally, I reapplied the American flag livery and repainted certain fixtures so they didn't stick out like a sore thumb and to blend them in perfectly with the car. So after getting everything done with this build, here's how it came out. This is the 2011 Alpha Kratos Patriotic Edition. This special version of the Kratos is the ultimate American-made SUV that exists. It comes with a huge American flag, towering exhaust pipes, a big V8 engine, and tons of ground clearance to tackle any curb or sidewalk that you may come across with this car. So after the completion of the Alpha Kratos Patriotic Edition with the design and everything, before exporting this to BeamNG.drive, despite these 3 problems that we got here after buffing up the tire size, such as the car's rolling while being too high and the front and rear tires of course wide, let's jump on over to BeamNG.drive and see how this America F yeah coming to save the frickin' day again SUV drives. So here we are, if you can hear me, at Special Stage Route B, if I'm right? Yeah, it's correct. Special Stage Route B with the Alpha... Hold on. Oh, I thought the flag was transparent. It's just like glossy. To the point where it's translucent up in here with the flag. Interesting, but we got the car spawned in with the exhaust at full blast, and I decided to mess with the exhaust settings to spew out some smoke on here at idle as well as you rev it up and go and so on, like right here. Along with a crap ton of backfiring that ensues. So anyways, let's get started with our base performance test with this car, with the 0 to 62 acceleration test, followed by the 62 to 0 brake test, and then a top speed run to see if it's capable of doing a top speed run throughout this track. So let's get ready to accelerate our 0 to 62 in 2-wheel drive high mode, starting now. 10 miles an hour. Electronic stability control is holding me back, and 0 to 62 in 7.90 seconds of 365.29 feet. We'll do the brake time and then do it again in 4x4 mode to see the time difference to the 0 to 62 wise. So brakes. On the brakes, go to neutral in case it goes in reverse all by itself. 62 to 0 in 4.34 seconds of 195.59 feet. The brake time for it was now updated after putting the wider tires on here. It was about a little over 3 tons, like 6,100 US pounds. So time-wise is pretty much okay. Same thing with the distance for a 3-ton vehicle. So go to 4x4 mode, so 4-wheel drive high, and again arcade mode, go. 40 seconds, 0 to 62. With ESC still on. 0 to 62 in 5.10 seconds of 264.89 feet. Screw it, since we already did the frickin' top speed, or 0 to 62, let's do a top speed run and see if it's capable. So, we're at 100 miles an hour, and is this 5th or 6th gear? 6th gear. So we got 2 more gears to go, and another 60 miles an hour left to go. So a difference with the 2-wheel drive mode, see 7.9 seconds in 2-wheel drive and 5.10 seconds in 4-wheel drive, so a 2.8 second difference between the two, and about 100 feet difference switching it from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive. Alright, we're at 170 miles an hour with our American-ass flag and us dipping quite back and polluting the planet as we do so we're coming up to the tunnel. I mean, it's pretty much a straight road. It's nothing that too exciting, except for the next couple miles down the road where it has a little bend. Not like a bend, but a little fork in the road. Okay, so I believe the split is right up ahead, so we're pretty much been stuck at 178 miles an hour according to airspeed. I believe it splits off right here, right? So there's little warning markers, and yes, it does split off. So let's just drive straight. 178 miles an hour it is, so unfortunately, it did not reach its true top speed, as I once did in automation. That was depressing. I thought there was going to be a wall of some sort or a... Really? I thought it was going to be like a wall or like a big-ass curb or something like that, but we just fall straight into the water. But like I said, I sustained at a speed of 178 miles an hour according to airspeed. It stayed like that no matter what. So the automation top speed that it calculated we did not reach it whatsoever. Alright, next, let's find a map to do a time trial run to test out the both on- and off-road capabilities of this patriotic American-made vehicle. So here we are at the map of Utah, USA with the Mixed Stage 1 time trial loaded up here, and it's a point-to-point race starting off from the narrow canyon section of the map and ends off at the highway. So let's get ready to start things off here in 3, 2, 1, go. Launch at 2000 RPM and did not decapitate the flag. That is great. Because we must show our true American glory by not getting rid of the flag whatsoever, and brakes are terrible. And there goes the flag! Oh no, save that, man! And the SUV rises from George Washington's grave. Oh yeah, the brakes! Look at that! Hard on the brakes, and I still can't get this damn thing to a stop. That is ridiculous. How about here, this little right-hand turn, 70-something miles an hour. Well, we did slow down, but it's pretty bad in terms of braking distance. Even if I put like 420mm brakes, max quality plus 15 it, I don't think it'll make much of a difference. Even swapping these vented discs to some carbon ceramics or something like that, it won't make much of a difference in terms of stopping distance or time. Maybe a little bit, but it won't drastically cut it down. Let's just take it easy and not fall off the cliff. Oh, yo, 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 yo. I got hose calling phones. Well, got front end damage. I thought I couldn't back up, but front end damage, not that bad. Front end damage, we'll just keep going. See, I was bashing on the brakes at 90 miles an hour, and what, I hit the little, like, rock face at, like, 30 miles an hour? Ridiculous. These brakes just suck ass. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, God damn, I'm wedged. Alright, kids, slow down a bit, and miss that, and hit that instead. But I missed the actual post for the bridge and just hit the side of it instead, I guess. Alright, here's the dirt. Nowitzki. And how can we... How am I stuck on a goddamn... What, at a barrier, shoddy? Alright, he's making a... straight. Kiss the front end, but... unlike before, we are not stuck and we're on a dirt road finally, rather than being all on tarmac. This is where we belong here, ladies and gentlemen. The frickin' dirt roads with an off-road and hell-overpowered SUV. Well, I guess our dirt run was a bit of a short run. And a little bit surprised it didn't tip over right there from transitioning from dirt onto asphalt. I thought the change in grip and everything would cause bad boy to flip over, but no, it didn't. And we got these long-ass straight roads, like, I never did this time trial before. Nope, we still got more to go. Okay, brake here. 100 miles an hour, put the park, and back to drive. I kind of found the meta is, if you're gonna be screwing up, it's best to slam this bad boy into park while you're on the brakes to slow the vehicle down even more than just relying on the brakes here. Okay, here we go. Final checkpoint. We're in the 4-minute mark. Again, it's my first time doing this stage, I believe, this time trial run. So, it's a 4-minute, 42 seconds, whatever milliseconds it'll pop up here. 4 minutes, 42 seconds, 361 milliseconds. Not too bad, but it took like what, 7 or 8 attempts, maybe a little bit more, to get this time trial finished, because this thing, in terms of the cornering abilities, is terrible. Same thing with the brakes too. So free roam, crash this bad boy properly at 155 miles an hour, engine is off. I thought the little don't desecrate the flag, the cinematic camera will take over like when I hit the rock here, but it didn't. And also with the top speed run, or 0 to 62 with the differentials, I'm probably gonna do this again to get a third top speed, because I found these two that eliminates a bunch of wheel spin. Let me figure this out real quick. Alright, just get it off my chest. I got the differentials locked. Go. Sport ECS we go. I'll probably do it with sport 5.07, and right here with off-road. Is it going to make a difference or no? Same. Pretty much no difference compared to not locking the differentials. So anyways, let's bring this bad boy down a ramp, but not the Car Jump Arena map, the new one, but down the Brutal Slope 2.0 and see how far this bad boy will launch and how hard this thing will crash. So take it to the top of the first ramp on the far left of the map right now. Alright, so here we're at the map. Let's accelerate down the ramp as promised and see if we get a better 0 to 62 going downhill. Better, 4.16 seconds of 187.05 feet. We got a freaking murder, 187. If you're in California, that's a murder if you know that. And if you're outside, well, you learned something new today. 200 miles an hour, going up to 8,000 RPM. And are we going to get the over-rev risk type of damage at the bottom left before we get to the bottom here? 247 at the bottom. Our launch speed, 170 miles an hour. Interesting. So watch this American take flight as we do a front flip. Yo, we did a front flip. So let me slow this down because I'm not going to trust the cinematic camera. Let's see. Cinematic camera or no? Nope. So 32 times slow-mo. There's the front. There goes the flag. Save that flag. Save that banner. Save that wheel. And we got some front-end damage. Significant front-end damage. There goes the exhaust pipe. So let's full-time it. Now the cinematic camera kicks in as we're flipping wildly. End over end. There goes the camera again. There goes the rear suspension, the drivetrain. End over end. Don't do it again, please. You're welcome. And we rest on our 3 wheels. And the engine is still running, as you can obviously hear and see. Despite that, the engine is exposed with the manifold in the front of it, which is interesting. So, real quickly, can it drive? Oh. No. American-made quality, ladies and gents, at 0 to 62. Is it? I swear. Well, I'm gonna keep this until I get a speed test going. Coolant overheating. Nah, that ain't it. Alright, final run for the end of the video. Skateboard ourselves down to the earth below. 3.70 seconds, that's what I'm talking about for a 0 to 62, a big-ass V8 engine, a 7-liter, 427 cubic inch. That's more like it. So we're going to be going down the hill here and crash at the wedge thing, as I call it, which is basically a square block. We get an interesting wedge-shaped bulk in the vehicle if we crash it at a very high speed. So at a speed of... Don't do it to me, camera. So a speed, I believe, 244 miles an hour? Yeah, 245 now. Okay, 50 times slow-mo into effect. And... there goes the flag, doink the flag on the wedge thing, which is the square block like I mentioned. So we got an interesting wedge-shaped look at the vehicle right now. We're in the air a little bit. Full time it. There goes 2 of our flags, which is basically a beer to get the flags to actually work in BeamNG as well as on automation. So let's bring this to the flat land to look at the at-bat destruction of that vehicle. Okay, so coming to a rest, and like I said, this is the wedge shape, or in this case, a ramp-shaped look of the front of the vehicle after crashing into this area here. So we got the hazard lights still going off, as well as the daytime running lights, the headlights. Oh, that's the fog lights illuminating the license plate. I mean, like, why is the license plate illuminating? It's the fog lights that are kind of positioned on the license plate, and that's illuminating too. Interesting. So yeah, as you can see, definitely got some front-end damage, definitely got some exhaust side freaking semi-truck exhaust pipe damage going up in here, and the rear, semi-pristine-ish, but we low-riding up in here. And just like the last attempt with the ramp, can it still drive? Uh-huh. It can drive well. No, it can drive well. Are you kidding me? 0 to 62 in 11.40 seconds of 600.01 feet. So almost exactly 600 feet. Can I steer? Cool. I can steer? with no front steerable, let's just say front wheels. I'm steering with the power of freaking God on my side and just gravity alone. I'm defying the laws of gravity. This is stupid. You can't steer a vehicle by just doing that and making that work. That's automation of BeamNG vehicles for you. So with the Alpha Kratos, the Patriotic Edition as it's called, it's a harrowing SUV that weighs over 3 tons with a powerful V8 engine. It sums up what some Europeans and non-Americans think what kind of cars they drive in the US. You got these massive off-road tires, a 538 horsepower motor, and a distinguishable American flag livery plastered on the car. However, the downside to this car is its terrible steering angle and brakes. I guess that's the trade-off to a pure American-made SUV that's built for pride than practicality. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. So this is TRIZE Rising Up, and signing out.